Hello and welcome to episode 13 of the Dynamo Football Book Club Injury Time. My name's Alistair Bond and I'm joined by my co-host Johnny Coughlin. Johnny, you have a beautiful family.
Yes, I'll take that one.
Okie dokie. Well, episode 13 this week is unlucky for some because we are doing a five-a-side of our worst Premier League players with over 100 appearances. Now, this sounded straightforward, Johnny, when you suggested it, or I believe your brother. What a smart fella.
Yeah, so this was suggested by my brother Barry.
So these can't be total clowns, can they, Johnny? It can't be like, we can't pick Ali Dyer or any of the, absolute Massimo Taibis. This has to be someone who has had a decent length Premier League career, i.e. is actually good, but has managed to be shit for the entirety of it.
Here's Letitia, and let him have a go, no penalty whatsoever, but Taibi has made a horrendous error.
When I was doing this, I was thinking, actually, these guys are quite good.
I mean, they are good. I mean, there's players I was looking at like, this lad's an absolute total fucking clown. Oh, what, 30 caps for England under 21s? Like, player of the season, 3 times, but he's remembered as an idiot. So these are the most ineffectual who had the least impact on their teams over 100 games. So basically, you played more than 2 full seasons of Premier League football. You can't be that bad. But how bad can you be? Let's find out.
And so it's different because we're picking bad teams. This is a slow bicycle race situation. The aim is to lose. Comes naturally to you, Al. What? That's what's different about this one. That's kind of fun, isn't it? So yeah, thanks to my brother Barry for suggesting this. It's a different way of going about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Do you want to use a snake draft on this? We don't need a snake draft on this one, do we?
I have a suggestion, actually.
Go ahead.
Because of the nature of this one, you could be a scumbag and you could just pick 4 defenders, say, but we should not allow that. You're going to have to stick with it. Setting off formation. Would you like to go position by position now? We've never done that.
Oh yeah, we can absolutely do that. Yeah, I did pick a proper team with midfielders and attack, so that's fine. Because when you look at the worst players, a lot of them do appear to be defenders, or at least that's what the internet's telling me.
I'm worried that you found like a rich seam of crap players that didn't come up in any of my searches. By the way, I asked ChatGPT to give me a list of 20 terrible players. It gave me 14. 4 of them were Irish. Come on. 4 of them were Ireland internationals. One of them was Richard Dunn, and I was honestly offended. I was offended by that.
Well, first of all, ladies and gentlemen, let's talk about it. So basically, I'm competing against ChatGPT. So I'm Gary Kasparov, and you're Deep Blue, you scumbag. And if I get all my picks, Johnny, 40% of my team are Irish internationals. So, yep. All right, do you have a coin to hand, Johnny? I can get one. I can get one right here. Fucking hell. That's the organisation you get here at Dynamo Football. There's $100 bill in the fucking coin jar. What's the missus up to, Johnny? What's she doing? Why's there $100 bill in there?
Does that got in your pocket now?
Not if it's going to be on record. Alrighty, heads or tails, Johnny?
Does she listen to the podcast? I'm going to stick with heads.
I can assure you she does not. Alrighty.
Gladiators, ready!
It is heads, Johnny. It is.
Oh, but I did say whoever wins there loses, so what does that mean? No, okay. Let's start with defenders.
Oh, you don't want to go start with...
Sorry, goalkeeper, obviously. Jesus Christ. So I've decided, Al, I'm going to moneyball this. I've got real statistical support for this, for my choices.
Okay.
Before I was just going on feel, but it wasn't enough. But okay, in goal.
In goal.
He has played 12 times for the England national team.
Oh, it better not be my boy.
He has conceded 1.57 goals per game in his 419 appearances in the Premier League.
That's not my boy.
No, sorry, that's not right. Correct that. Anyway, he has conceded 419 goals and 267 appearances, and it is Rob Green. The name again is Rob Green, England goalkeeper.
Yeah, Rob Green. Totally shit.
Just to say, by the way, maybe I'll wait for you to pick and then I'll give you some of my goalkeeper facts.
All right, well, I'm also going for England international. Okay, so we'll talk about them in unison. I mean, Rob Green, the thing that stands out most was him throwing the ball into the net. I've done one eulogy at a funeral for my dear friend, and I referenced the Rob Green goal against USA in that eulogy. That's one of the happy things. At least he wasn't alive to see that. Jesus Christ. Is that too far? Anyway, all right, in goal for me. I'm going more based on vibes. But this guy is fucking shit. It's Aaron Ramsdale. I've got Aaron Ramsdale. How that lad still he's just got to move to Newcastle. I'm telling you, Nick Pope's playing in goal. I think he gets picked for these teams because if he doesn't get picked, he cries. I think he cries and he just makes all the coaches feel bad. That lad is so useless. Oh, he can pass it. He's really good at passing the ball with his feet. Yeah, but he's not good at fucking stopping the football going in the net. If you sign him, you basically guarantee relegation. He's had 3 relegations. He's only 27. He's played for fucking Arsenal and he's still got relegated 3 times. Yeah, Aaron Ramsdale's my pick. I don't know how people still rate this lad. He is so bloody awful. He's got a rick in him. And when anything goes against him, he looks like he's going to cry. If I was a defender looking back, you're all right. He's crying. It's like Gary Lineker to Bobby Robson, like with Gaza, just like poor eye, like watch him, because I think he's crying. And if he doesn't like it, his dad gets involved. My shitty goalkeeper is Aaron Ramsdale.
And how many times has he played in the Premier League?
It's over 100. Let's have a look. It is.
Like if you've been relegated 3 times and that's not with Arsenal, so he's been playing for 4 different teams in the Premier League. Well, sorry, that's because he's been relegated 3 times. I guess that doesn't necessarily mean that, but
148 appearances in the Premier League, 40 for Sheffield United, 78 for Arsenal, and 30 for Southampton.
Okay, Al, who's conceded the most goals in the Premier League?
Oh, which keeper?
Yeah,
Mark Schwarzer.
Not bad, Al. That's second. He's conceded 657.
David James.
Yes, David James. Dialing the beast with a 666 goals in 572 appearances. UC Jaskalainen, remember him? Of course you do. 618 goals. You know, the only goalkeeper I could find who played more than 100 games and who has conceded more goals per game than Rob Green was Tim Krul. But I have it in my head that Tim Krul wasn't actually that bad.
In my head, he started off well. He was good at Newcastle. I rated him. But then he had this reputation as a penalty stopper. And when he went back to Norwich, he really was bloody awful. But he was old by then as well.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, but that's the reason I went for Rob Green, because he's statistically fucking terrible. Okay, I'm keeping up with the stats, Al. So you said Aaron Ramsdale has been relegated 3 times. The player that I'm picking in defence, again, my memory of him was not that he was absolutely terrible, but he is the player who's been relegated most. Do you know who that is?
Nigel Quasi.
No, again.
No, I don't know. It's Hridison. It's Hridison. Of course I know this. I've looked it up, yeah.
Yeah, Herman Hridison has... I'll give you some fun facts about this, okay? So he played 315 times in 11 seasons. He had 5 relegations with Palace, Wimbledon, Ipswich, Charlton and Portsmouth. He was once promoted from the 3rd division to the 2nd division, but he was never promoted to the Premier League. So the other guys who have been... I can say these guys' names because they didn't get 100 appearances. So Quasi was relegated 4 times, but he was promoted twice or 3 times. And Nathan Blake, with 92 appearances, he was relegated 5 times, same as Sir Ederson, but he was also promoted to the Premier League a couple of times. Quasi and Blake, one of them was promoted twice and one of them was promoted 3 times. But Ederson, who had his 5 and never actually promoted. I actually remember him not being that terrible, but I know.
That's my recollection, Johnny. That's why I think you're taking the shit with your trousers on, because I think he was a decent enough player, older Ederson. And hopefully our AI overlords will remember that as well.
Okay, well, that's my pick. I'm sticking with it. He's Icelandic. You don't get many of those in the Premier League. Well, I get a few.
There's one we don't talk about. All right, my first choice in defence, and it's an obvious pick. It's shambles. It's Titus Bramble. Man, you watch a video compilation of his biggest fuck-ups. Oh, when he fucks up, he doesn't fuck up a big. He fucks up horribly. Tackles his own player, like, his back. Don't pass it back to me, keeper, Titus, because you proved again and again you can't do it. And his little face as he fucked up again and again. So, but he was actually Wigan Player of the Year one year, so he wasn't always bad, but also I've watched some of his fuck-ups for Wigan. Oh, you bandit. His Wikipedia entry starts with Newcastle United. He signed for Bobby Robson and said he wants to become a stalwart in the Newcastle defence. Next line. At the end of the season, he was voted the worst player in the Premier League by the Fiver HPL magazine. Well, I mean, he was a comedy figure, wasn't he? And he must have been all right because he did well at Newcastle. He got a 6 million move to Newcastle, and that was 6 million was some money. But oh, baby, he was just a calamity.
Yeah, he was on all the lists, all the kind of articles that have been written over the years about the worst players. He was right up there, top of every list. But I think my memory of him is, as you say, he was a comedic kind of player, wasn't he?
That's it. When he had a good game, he was actually very good. But his attention span and all that was severely challenged from time to time.
Okay, Alistair. Let's move on to midfield. I'm going to pick two fellas in midfield, but I'll go with one. We can take it one at a time. So this guy came up in the conversation about wrongins, and it's Lee Cattermole, 271 appearances, 6 goals, 8 assists, 88 yellow cards, and 7 reds. So he got 14 yellow cards in a single season. He was booked 40 seconds into one game against Newcastle and was sent off later in that game. Who do you think has got the most yellow cards in Premier League? Do you know that?
Gareth Barry.
Boom, absolutely. So I like this.
I think a bit more credit for that, Johnny. I think a little bit more credit there. Fucking genius. Fucking just putting that out my fucking arse. He's got the most appearances though, Gareth Barry, hasn't he? So it's sort of likely.
Barry was a decent player as well. But listen to this nice description from the Roker report when Lee Cattermole was playing for Sunderland. He's a caustic liability that jogs around the pitch, shouting orders at better, more intelligent and responsible players, and doing his best impression of a defensive midfielder. It's a joke, and like every joke at Sunderland, it's not funny anymore. Host's quote about Lee Cattermole, which I quite enjoyed.
All right, well, I'm going to pick my next player. I've got another defender first, if you don't mind. And this one I'm going on vibes. But I looked up... I looked him up on 2 different team message boards. And on both message boards, I found this exact phrase, "Get out of our club, Yannick Vestergaard." An absolute wardrobe of the man. 0 mobility, 0 threat at anything. Just a big, lumbering, slow centre-half who really should have been playing in the 1980s. He looks like Frankenstein. He's terrible wherever he goes. I don't know how he's managed to play, but it's one of those things, isn't it? You see him like being absolutely fucking awful at Southampton and getting relegated, and Leicester City think, yes, please, we'll have a bit of that. We'll take one of the worst defenders in the world. So I'm going Yannick Vestergaard in defence.
You know, I was thinking about this. Anyone playing in the Premier League now is better than 70% of the people playing in the Premier League when it started. Surely.
Yeah, you're probably right there.
Because it's just so much more competitive now. Like, when you think about, remember fellas like, Stuart Nethercott, Justin Edinburgh, like these guys, would they be in the Premier League now? Just pulling random names out of the sky. Vinny Samways pulling random names out of the sky,
Well, that's it. Neil Ardley, Danny Guthrie. This is it. Well, this is my level of research. I went through a list of every single Premiership player, and based on appearances, and men just sort of hovered around the 100 mark. Because I figured if you'd made loads more than 100, you can't be that bad. But if you got to be found out by 100, and yeah, there were some really bad names there. I really wanted to put Stephen Taylor in, but he just wasn't that bad. Too many good seasons, but so many bad seasons as well. But Yannick Vestergaard, I don't think has ever had a good season. It says amusingly on his Wikipedia page that he qualifies to play for Germany through his mother. It's fucking moot, mate. He's not going to play for fucking Germany.
Have you ever seen the video of Stephen Taylor being announced for a job somewhere in the Middle East where he gets out of the SUV? Have you seen that?
I have not.
Oh, it's fun, man. Go and check that out. That's a fun little video.
Well, what I didn't realise, I mean, I think Stephen Taylor's most famous thing is when he handballed that ball and then pretended he'd been shot in the heart as if to try and convince the referee, but it wasn't a handball. Ah! Hit my heart! Ouch! The ball hit your chest. What? It's, I mean, I know he didn't have long to think about it, but just a little process. Okay, I've handballed it now. What can I... Oh! My chest. And that got overshadowed. That's the very same game that Kieran Dyer thumped Lee Bowyer. Yeah, there you go. And also, and he's not in my team, Stephen Taylor, but his nickname at Newcastle was Forrest Gump. Nice.
Well, okay. Of all the blunders that have stuck with a player for his entire career, does any one particular individual come to mind? Like a comedy blunder?
Well, it's Gerrard slipping over. I'll give you Stephen Gerrard probably wasn't in the worst case ever of Premier League. I'll give you that.
It's similar. But
all right, let me keep guessing. All right, so
okay, go on.
I think of that. Obviously, Taibbi. That's the big one, but it can't be him. What are other comedy blunders in the Premier League? Tell me, Johnny.
Okay, he was billed as the next Gaza. 252 appearances in the Premier League, 21 assists. You know, he played 12 seasons in the Premier League and only managed to play more than 20 games 4 times. And it is David Dunn. Like, I think David Dunn at one point was considered quite good, but I don't know if he ever made it. But it says injuries there, but I just don't think he ever really got back from that time he fell over himself.
Well, when your own manager is pissing himself laughing at you, that's a bad sign, isn't it?
Yeah, he had 0.15 goal involvements per game. Yeah, he's not doing much at the other side of the pitch, is he?
No, he's not. He was a fat lad as well. At least in my head, he seemed quite chunky.
He had one of those very broad faces. So maybe he's fat in the face, kind of, you know?
Like a Milner face. Yeah, big fat Milner face. Or Lampard.
Yeah, okay. That's my second midfielder.
Well, I'm pulling out my first shamrock now, lad. Jeff Hendrick. Get in there, son. Fucking rubbish. Right. Shaking your head to headshot it. Alright, so here's my stats for Jeff Hendrick and how. So, for 75% of the years he played Premiership football, he finished in the 5th percentile or worse of who scored ratings of every player in the league. 75% of the seasons. He was in the bottom percentile for tackling midfielders. Didn't tackle ever. He was in the 2nd percentile for progressive passing. And he was in the 3rd percentile for defensive pressure. He really was fucking rubbish. He did nothing. I think he scored a couple of long shots, right? And he's sort of famous for that.
The one that was always maligned in Ireland was Glenn Whelan. Way more than Hendrick.
Glenn Whelan, because he played forever at Stoke, though, didn't he? He just kept getting picked.
He was there for 1,000 years, yeah.
Yeah, just a poolist stalwart. Just, I guess, yeah, was he just doing, sitting around at the back, just... What is he doing? What did he do, Glenn Whelan? Just doesn't sound like him. He looked like a snooker player.
All right, Al, I went statistical again for the striker. Of all of the strikers, and like you said, it was hard to find players. You know, you think, here's a funny fact for you, Al. I thought of Jason Lee, your boy from Forest. Mido, here's a fun fact. Mido admitted to putting on 17 kilograms in 2 months. So I looked for goals, you know. Do you know who's got the forward with the longest goal drought? And it's not who you're about to pick, because I have a feeling I know who you're about to pick. It's Alan Smith. 70 games without a goal. 70! But that was after he broke his leg, and then they started playing him in central midfield because he couldn't move anymore. Let's just throw him into the middle of the park because he can't move anymore. But Cameron Jerome scored 33 goals in 211 Premier League appearances. That is 0.16 goals per game. He's a 1 in 7.5 game player, Cameron Jerome.
Yeah, that's shit for a midfielder. Yeah, he's very famous. He fits in that category. Too good for the Championship, but not good enough for the Premier League, isn't he? Old Cameron Jerome. He's like there with Robert Earnshaw as well. Like just too good for that, but not good enough for a Premier League. It's like Neil Warnock as a manager. They need a little league in between where Cameron Jerome and Robbie Earnshaw and Neil Warnock can manage them.
Yeah, and most of the Ireland team from about 10 or 15 years ago, but unfortunately most of the Ireland team now wouldn't even get into that little in-between league. This is the way things have gone. But yeah, he played for Birmingham, Stoke, Palace, Norwich, very much reflecting what you just said, those kind of yo-yo teams that are up and down. But yeah, that's my striker.
Okie dokie. Again, I'm going for a vibes base, and Johnny, I think you know who I'm going to pick. Because he loves a long goal drought, does Shane Long.
Or just 70 games.
All right. Well, here's what AI's got to tell me. Long ended a run of 23 games without a goal for Southampton on December 31st, 2016. 23 games. If you end your goal drought against West Brom, does that really count? No. 266-day drought. He scored against Wolves on January 18th, 2020, ending a 266-day drought. In 2018, he ended an 11-month drought against Crystal Palace. And on 2019, he ended a 279-day drought against Leicester City. Fucking hell, yeah, man. This man was just goal droughts. That's all he ever was. Forest you have Eddie McGoldrick, and he was always called Eddie McGoldrout, which is unfortunate.
Another Irish international.
Get in there.
So Shane Long, he signed for Reading as he was kind of like an afterthought when they bought Kevin Doyle from Cork City, you know. I think he cost like 30 grand or something. And he went on to have a much longer and more successful career than Kevin Doyle.
I mean, I know he was an all right player, and there were worse strikers. I know that. But crikey, you can't get past those goal droughts. This is a vibes choice.
He scored a big goal for Ireland against Germany. The last time we qualified for anything, but yeah, that was his big goal. You've got one moment like that playing for Ireland, and you're going to be loved forever, you know.
Well, that's it, and you know, you've had something to hang your hat on, isn't it? Like you can look back on your career. I did great. He's probably remembering that, not the 279 days between goals.
Robbie Brady scored that goal against Italy, wasn't it, in the Euros? And that's what he'll be remembered for forever. Robbie Brady, who, like, would people remember that Robbie Brady all that much otherwise? Well, in Ireland they would, but yeah, he's different because of that, you know.
I have a weird fondness for Robbie Brady. I don't know why. Just a good saying.
He's got a cheeky face.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. All right, my team is Derby County, 2006-2007.
Oh, God. Someone was it Southampton last year? Were they as bad? They were almost as bad, weren't they?
They weren't as bad as Derby. No one's come close. No one's come with that 5 points. Sheffield United the season before were fucking terrible. I mean, Derby got like 11 points. Oof. Yeah, so there's players, Johnny, like Alan Kimball, played 250 Premier League games. I've never fucking heard of him. Played for Wimbledon. Alan Kimball. How did that happen? Yeah, researching this, I was honestly astonished how many players I didn't recognise who had racked up a lot of appearances. But here's some more of my honourable mentions. Mayo Yoshida at Southampton. Man, whenever I saw him play, I was not convinced. Leroy Fer, do you remember him? Everywhere he went, he got relegated. I thought another nice one, Saido Berahino, someone who promised so much and delivered so little. And the other one I nearly throw in was Nicholas Bentner, just for the comedy.
Yeah, I was looking at Matt Jarvis. Remember him?
He was like a £12 million player.
Yeah.
Didn't move fine for 12 million. Yeah.
Yeah, Stephen Ireland. I was going to put in Jack Wilshere just kind of to annoy you because you loved him so much at one point. Jason Lee didn't have enough appearances. John McGinley, because he's come up in every Arsenal book.
Oh, Bruce Rioch's going to be fucking furious for you, dude.
Okay, here we go. A 60-minute high-intensity standard 5-a-side rules game with a frantic pace and sometimes goals. Team Al, Aaron Ramsdale, Titus Bramble, Yannick Vestergaard, Jeff Hendrick, and Shane Long. 40% Irish, you fucker. Team John, Rob Green, Herman Ryderson, Lee Cattermole, David Dunn, and Cameron Jerome. Okay.
80% English, you arsehole.
Yeah, okay. The first goal is Cattermole fouls Hendrick twice, gets one, and then toe pokes the ball in. Team John leads. Shane Long scores, breaking his duck there, you know. Next goal, Team Al is up 1-0. Jeff Hendrick. You're not going to believe this. Aaron Ramsdale pulls off a triple save from Dunn Jerome, then Dunn again. Bramble then dribbles forward and scores with a deflected shot, 3-1. And then Cattermole is now playing up front. Ryerson plays it forward. Dunn side foots in. It's 3-2. But it's too late for Al's team wins. 3-2 to Derby County. What'd you say, 2000 and?
Is it 06, 07, that terrible season? It could be 07 or 08. I'm terrible at naming years.
Okay, man of the match, Aaron Ramsdale.
Fucking Ramsdale.
Yes, indeed. If the teams were to play 100 times, Team Al would win 54 times, 17 draws and 29 wins for John's collection of absolute mediocre mongrels. There you go.
Yeah, Ramsdale was too good, wasn't he? That was all my fault. I went vibes instead of cold hard facts.
Yeah, you know, I saw something about Billy Bean the other day talking about whatever, that's Moneyball, Sabernomics, shit. Sabermetrics? So it obviously settled in there, Al. I think I'm 5-4 now in the series. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I'll look at that team and I can see that it's all right, really.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you've played 100 times in the Premier League, you're quite good at football.
Yeah, I think maybe we could revisit this with like 20 games or something. We could have another terrible five-a-side, but 20 games, get some real shockers in there.
But see, the thing with 20 is, as you said, like this Alan Kimball, there'd be just so many fellas I just wouldn't remember, right?
Well, that's right. I mean, yeah, looking at that list, it's incredible. I mean, actually saying that, it's incredible how many I do recognise, but yeah, there's a few I don't. Yeah, if you've racked up 100 appearances, I don't remember you. You can't have been doing much.
Okay, Al. Well, thank you very much. We are back next week with Psycho, the Stuart Pearce autobiography. Do you know what year that's from?
I think it's early 90s.
Good. We don't want any of the management years, really, do we?
No, there'll be probably some decent Cloughy anecdotes there, but yeah, there's going to be no managerial stuff. This is all going to be World Cup and Forest glory.
Okay. All right. Lovely stuff, Al. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Johnny, and we'll see you next week.